Have you ever been asked a question that sounded perfectly innocent, maybe delivered with a soft tone and a warm smile, but your gut instantly told you something was wrong? You answer, and within seconds, realize you're trapped in a game you cannot win. Amateurs will lie right to your face. Elite manipulators don't bother with direct attacks. Instead, they weaponize questions. They plant tiny, almost invisible seeds of doubt in your mind and step back to let them grow. If you don't spot the tactic, the effect is devastating. You stop challenging their behavior and start second-guessing your own memory. Eventually, you find yourself apologizing for things you never even did. The ancient Stoics, thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, mapped out this exact form of psychological warfare over 2 millennia ago. They understood the mechanics of manipulation long before modern psychology gave it a name. Their key insight was remarkably precise. A manipulator's tactics hold absolutely zero weight on their own. They depend entirely on creating a storm of emotional chaos inside the victim. Disarming a liar requires moving the focus away from the spoken argument and toward your own internal state. Their tactics only succeed if they can disrupt your inner peace. The playbook usually starts with a single dismissive question. Why are you being so sensitive? This question disguises an accusation as concern. When you notice an inconsistency, your awareness is your primary defense. By labeling you sensitive, the manipulator attempts to convince you that the problem lies with your perception rather than their actions. The philosopher Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Manipulators exploit this human tendency, using a dismissive comment to trigger a spiral of self-doubt. Stoic practice strips the power from this tactic. By refusing to defend your character, you remain an objective observer. You are paying attention. Their discomfort with your observation is simply a data point. When sowing doubt fails, the tactic escalates. The liar demands compliance with another loaded question. Do you trust me? Honest people build trust through consistent action over time. They don't corner you and demand it. This question functions as a mechanism to extort loyalty, forcing you to shut down rational curiosity just to prove you aren't being unfaithful. Both of these opening maneuvers share the same DNA. They function by punishing you with guilt simply because you used basic logic and kept your eyes open. If you hold your ground and refuse to feel guilty, the momentum shifts. A cornered liar will aggressively deflect by playing the victim, snapping back with, "Are you accusing me?" or "Would I ever lie to you?" This is a calculated role reversal. The spotlight moves off their suspicious behavior and onto you. You are placed on trial for having the audacity to question them in the first place. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius prized a steady dedication to the truth above any temporary comfort. He understood that truth does not need to rush or panic when questioned. Your defense against this deflection is total stillness. When they play the victim, ignore the pressure to rapidly explain yourself or apologize. Sit in the silence, look them in the eye, and ask a very simple question. Is there a reason I should be accusing you? If the deflection crumbles, the manipulator pulls their final card. They weaponize exhaustion, sighing and asking, "Can't we just let this go and move on?" This plea for peace serves as a strategic retreat. It avoids resolution in favor of burial, hoping the truth stays hidden simply because you are too tired to keep digging it up. A manipulator survives by draining your endurance. Defeating them is a matter of pure, unyielding stamina for the truth. This diagram visualizes their playbook's illusion. The manipulator's chaotic waves possess zero intrinsic power. Liars are parasites requiring your emotional reaction. If you refuse to participate and remain perfectly steady, those tactics hit a wall and evaporate. Epictetus organized this into the dichotomy of control. You cannot dictate whether someone chooses to lie, but you retain full command over your own reaction. This is where the manipulation fails. Embodying a Stoic means standing perfectly still while the enemy's psychological weapons turn to dust against your silence. Maintaining sovereignty over your mind is a choice. Refuse to be a pawn in their game. Stand your ground. Leave a comment below to publicly commit to your choice. Clarity over chaos.